Oh hey internet, what is up? Welcome back to the Type QQ channel. Welcome back to some more Zenodyne R. Yes, what can we say we haven't said about this game? This game is fun, this game is fast, pretty challenging as well. And yeah, when it comes to Grad Bands or Fox games, yep, I'm all about it. You know, even so much, I think I've spoiled the news in prior videos. We're going to be covering, I can officially say we're going to be covering the new game, Jetbuster, that comes out sometime next month. So, yes. So this is maybe even me warming up to whatever that game may hold for us. You know, maybe it's similar, maybe it's not. Can't really tell, but yes, for the time being, we're going to kind of just sort of acclimate ourselves and kind of make sure we don't forget how fast some of these games work and the controls of our ship. But yeah, so far, you know, like really on this run, can't say it was terribly too bad, but certainly it's really a lot of the same. On my off time, I had practiced the train level that seems to be killing us a lot, and I was able to complete it with our default lives. But we got to kind of put it together. That's the thing is you can't just drop into the level and expect that to be okay. You have to kind of put all the preceding levels in decent order as well. And I think we do an alright job. There are some parts in the third level, which I believe is which has been nicknamed myself with the corridor of death. It doesn't go particularly well, but I wonder sometimes if we're just kind of out of practice, the corridor's sort of innate challenge kind of creeps back in. Yeah, the purple shot just really tears it into these bosses. And it's always good to have some of those extra tech points as well, which is really, they lead the charge to our unlocking new ships and all kinds of unlockables there on the main menu. I don't know about anyone else, but this game certainly gives me a huge Choran Shah vibe. Maybe not particularly in the visuals, but in sort of in the bullet patterns. The way it kind of pushes you back and forth, left to right. Seemingly, not every time, but there is a sort of rhythm to the game sometimes. Yeah, especially how the game opens up with this sort of explosion that you're kind of chasing. I don't know, maybe that's another game we should pick up. We were playing Choran Shah pretty well for the tournament earlier this spring. I forget what we even placed in it. Did we place third? I think we may have placed third in it. And kind of after the tournament, I kind of just dropped and said, okay. We got to really pull it back up. We did pretty well on that. Although that game particularly, you can definitely feel that there's a sort of momentum. If you're doing really well on a run and then something happens, you're fighting an uphill battle the entire way. Luckily, games like this and Kaiken, which we're playing currently, it's not so bad with. Certainly with this game, if you die enough, your life is going, not your life, but your firepower is kind of going to drop down, but not as severe as that. You can certainly feel it, like you were, you're fraction of the strength that you're just dealing. You know, enemies will certainly still kind of just popcorn to your attack regardless. Sometimes it just feels when you get an upgrade, your shot just widens a little bit. You can kind of just get a bigger swath of enemies that when they spawn on the screen. And maybe the speed of the bullets as well, it appears too. And as you notice, when those sort of chrome balls fall, those power-ups, we kind of want to let them fall as much as we can and kind of hide behind them. Because they will block enemy shots if they're you know, just so happen to fire at the same time. So we can kind of hide behind it, fire through it, and use it as a shield as we kind of pick it up at the last moments. And doing pretty well. Where are we at? 7 lives? Not too shabby, I would say. Enforcer is approaching fast. And there it is. I believe that's our first death so far, and just a really lame death as well. Just kind of, you know, it's one of the things you see it coming, and then you just, you know, it's like if someone throws you a ball, and you see it coming, you have your hand up, and your hand is just not anywhere close to catching it, and you just take it right in the face. You know, I'm not certainly the most graceful person in real life either. You know, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily call myself, you know, affectionately clumsy or anything, but, you know, I don't necessarily have, I don't think, like, the grace of a gazelle or anything, that's for sure. But yes, we were once at 7 lives, down to 5 as we bit it earlier on in this level as well. But you find some of these later levels, they really like pack it, you know, just pack it in just as soon as you get there and just really add a lot of pressure. This is a hellish thing. You have your enemies on each side of the screen, and just like I was saying with Showdown Shot, kind of forces you to go back and forth and kill off those enemies so they don't bother you too much while you're fighting that sort of mini-boss. Luckily we got an extend, bringing us up to a life total of 6. Good stuff, I would say, as we're creeping ever so closely to the corridor of death. And for those who don't know, you know, if this is your first Zenodyne R video, you know, we do have 2 shots. Look at that dodge. I'm not even saying dodge, just that, I don't know, what was that? Some sort of like Tourette's of the finger or something like that? Just an absolute like error between brain and fingers of what to do, and just to fly your ship right into the freaking wall for no reason. But yeah, so like I was saying, yeah, if this is your first video, yeah, pretty simple controls here. We have our arrow keys to move. We have our basic fire at Z, which is this, by the way. And it's sort of a concentrated heavy damage thing that I use primarily against bosses and tankier enemies. You can hold shift while you're also firing to do that sort of wide shot there, which is good for, you know, these money enemies or any of the popcorn sort of swarm enemies that are good, that only take one hit and explode. And then finally, on the X button, we have our bombs, which are indicated by the number of skull bomber icons we have down below. So just one bomb. And of course, the corridor of death doesn't necessarily pose the most problems any longer. This used to just be a sort of meat grinder of hellish proportions, but yeah, really not so much anymore. I mean, certainly we can't be trusted to go through it without making an error or two. as I was saying. Jesus Christ. Down to 4 lives. Pretty bad stuff. But this is what you get when you don't play this game as much as you really should. You just make silly, ridiculous errors that, you know, you kind of learned out of but kind of fell back into. Making some dodges we don't really need to make. I mean, that's all we need to do is make some of these sort of dodges between diagonal enemies when we can't even trust it to not just fly in the wall for no reason. So, got another bomb, a couple more power upgrades. Facing death row here. Not the hardest boss ever. You can tell for some particular reason that his patterns kind of give up. Bad position there, kind of stole a bomber out of me. Yeah, too many bombs I would say, but we got out of there with, at least with an extend, so hey, there's that at least. But for those who've seen other Zenodyne R videos, I missed that power up, but I don't think it's going to be that huge of a mistake. Yes, if this is not your first video, you've probably seen this level before in some fraction, because this is the level that we keep dying on. There it is. And these particular large green-gray ships that show up, those are some devious guys. And that's the issue with this level particularly, if not this sort of the back and forth motion there between all the bullets, is that those ships, if you don't take care of them real quick, they can fire a lot of just trash on the screen and just really congest everything, and more than likely kill you outright. So that's why you see me going back, straight back to the blue shot, to kind of kill them before it gets too messy. But although, exactly, you know, I mean, messy's a pretty relative term, because this is already pretty messy. Down to 2 lives. Down to 1 life. Not so good, not so good. Alright, those are these large ships here. Yeah, you can see it. We were even like a fraction of a second late from killing that guy. He's puking all those pink missiles everywhere. Got an okay groove there, I suppose. Technofly. Yeah, just a fast, sort of hypnotizing pattern there. It steals a bomb from us. And then a life. Our final life, to be exact. So, you know, unfortunately a lot of the same. Kind of wish that we could strike a little deeper into this game, but it is what it is. We don't really play it as much as we really should. We should kind of, I think, remedy that. But that's going to be it for the video. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, do all that stuff. And we'll come back and play some more Zenodyne R in the future.